Let's also bring in Energy Secretary Sharon Garin. Good morning, Sec. I know that you only have 5 minutes. You're a very busy person right now. So can you very quickly summarize for our viewers, our consumers here, what they can expect in terms of the fuel and electricity prices, and what is the DOE doing about it?
I have time for you. Don't worry.
Oh, great. I will take all that time you can give us.
No, we as the trend is going to for the past 2 days, medyo umakyat palalo yung crude oil, ano. So there might be increases pa in the next week. So ngayon po na-announce na namin, we've already announced how much it will increase per company because we don't regulate the company's prices, no. Pero we published it so para more people know what the prices are, they can complain to us kung hindi sinusunod yung agreement.
Okay, you mentioned that you don't have control over the prices because you have the oil deregulation law, and a lot are looking at that right now because you have our Asian neighbors, you have South Korea, you have China putting caps on fuel prices. Business World quoted you as saying that that could possibly happen, but you need special powers, no? But now that they are fighting in Congress to give that for the fuel excise tax suspension, possibly for the ayuda disbursement. Could this not be an avenue that the DOE is looking at?
Yes, this is the time also to revisit this. We've been pushing for this amendment since I started as undersecretary pa, but it's about time that we visit this old law, and it's not just for emergencies, no? Pero sa general naman, dapat naman talaga may control tayo ng konti sa presyo ng langis dito, and hopefully they can tackle that. That's not an immediate solution that we need now. We just need the prices to be tempered yung increase niya, no? So the immediate measures would be the assistance that we give to our drivers and farmers, and as well as hopefully they can bring down the tax also on the fuel.
What are you expecting to happen tomorrow? You will be that they are looking at this in Congress for the powers of the president, and how quickly can this be reflected into the pump prices if the fuel excise tax is indeed suspended?
They're deliberating now 2 measures. One is the authorizing the president to reduce or suspend excise tax on fuel. Sa diesel kasi that would be around 6 pesos. And then another option is like if there possibility of bringing in more imported biofuels, because those prices, the prices of biofuels are not as, how do you call that, proportionate yung increase niya sa increase ng petroleum. So pwede yan kasi i-add, parang additive siya sa fuel natin. So these are the 2 measures that we are pushing for, and hopefully it will be certified as urgent because we need this now. These are the immediate relief that we need now, and Congress, both Senate and the House, are hard at work. They've been here. They've had their hearing yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Kaya tuloy-tuloy po. Sana po ma-approve nila before they go on recess next week.
Okay. Let's go back to the pricing of the gasoline stations. As per our count, something like 71 were flagged and 55 were issued possible fraudulent pricing. How can we determine if these are fraudulent pricing? How can the people determine this for themselves? Kasi there's a hotline pa nga whether it's just part of their costing, as you mentioned, di ba? Paiba-iba kasi yung costing. How can we understand kung fraudulent ba to or part lang yan by oil deregulation, tapos bababa naman?
So every Tuesday, nagsa-start yung bagong presyo, or we announce the price, no? So we announced the price yesterday for today's prices announced. We've also issued a directive na dapat walang galawan, no? No unreasonable or unjustified increases. So we've issued that already last week para for the time being na dapat walang unreasonable profiteering, let's say. So So for us, kasi, so ang ginawa namin yesterday was publish the rates. And each company has their own prices. It can vary from 19 pesos to 24 pesos yung increase. Pero what happened last week was when there were rumors and there was panic about the impending price increase, marami po sa gas stations started increasing their prices already, which was not justified. So that's why we issued so-called orders to them, giving them 24 hours to defend themselves. Pero before we even sent the so-called orders, we sent the police already to investigate. That's why we investigated before we issued this so-called orders.
Realistically, what are the repercussions?
We'll cancel their permits and they cannot operate
immediately.
Anymore.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
There are also reports, we have reporters on the ground seeing out-of-stock placards in gas stations. What does that mean? Totoo bang may shortage or is that another way to manage the pricing?
Now,
and what can be done?
There are valid and justified and unjustified reasons for that. One, kasi pumila yung mga tao at magpaggas and their storage is only limited, Baka naubos naman talaga. It's possible kasi we can understand naman the response of the public kasi kung ako rin, inutusan ko na yung driver ko magpagas na So, and second is if it's not justified, if they're just storing and refusing to sell, then that's not legal what they're doing. That's profiteering na or hoarding na nga . So that if it's not reasonable, it's not justified, then we send them a show cause order, and if they can give us a proper answer, then we'll cancel their permits also.
Sec, just going back to tomorrow's deliberation on the excise taxes, because a lot are watching that because malaking baba ng presyo, hindi pa tayo sure dyan. What are you, as a DOE, speaking with the DOF on what's a good compromise here?
If it's just DOE, then our mandate is to get the lowest price for fuel and electricity.
Yeah.
But I do understand that there are fiscal limitations in that sense kasi hindi naman pwede na i-negative natin kaagad at will affect also the basic services. Ang kung may ayuda tayo, baka affected yung ayuda din natin because we're losing a lot of money because of the excise reduction. So they're doing the simulations now. The situation is fluid because anything can happen. It can go up or go down. But they're doing several scenarios. So they're checking if it's 2 months, 3 months, or how much pa yung reduce, 2 pesos pa, 4 pesos, or lahat. So it's something that I would leave to the economic managers. Kasi sa kanila yan and it's their proposal actually, DOF, yung reduction of excise tax.
From a broader perspective, now there's focus also on why we only have 1 to 2 months reserves. Is this something that can be reviewed? You have Japan with 1 year reserves, So parang how can we make sure that this situation is more, let's say, manageable in the future?
Yeah, I agree. It gives us so much instability. Unfortunately, we have been lagging in the exploration part because I do believe that we have resources in the Philippines, whether oil or gas. Gas, at least now we have one additional na exploration. And now, and last year, we really ramped up exploration contracts. We should have done this 10 years ago. So one of the our faults, including my department, is the exploration of our gas and oil fields. Kasi that would have been minimized our exposure to the international market. Second, about the stocks, because Japan is a refinery, so does South Korea and some of these countries. We only have one. And that limits our capacity to have a buffer. Siguro it's time, and actually we're studying it already. Now we should have more refinery and learn from the lesson why these companies left the Philippines, closed down their refineries. Baka kailangan better better conditions for this kind of investment. At least ma-assure tayo. Second, ang stocks na what you mentioned, why do we have less or just this much? No? Actually, it's more than what we require. We require 15 days actually na buffer nila. When we investigated and checked what is here and what is coming en route na, it's nearing about 57 days last week, so probably about 50 days now. What's good about that is that we can order. Now we have time to order. Whether it's way far from the other side of the world, kuha tayo ng diesel doon, we still have time for the delivery to come on time. Ang problem kasi if you have too much stock, if we require too much, it's also money. They have to invest in purchasing the products and also the storage capacity nila.
What about reducing our reliance on the Middle East with all this conflict? 98% of crude oil coming from them. Are we diversifying the risk in that sense?
I think this is a deregulated industry and it's a companies that decide. But I think we all, I mean, the whole world learned from this lesson, from this incident. So now, after we've been meeting with the oil companies several times, is to explore other options. So kahit sabihin mo na we still get there, but at least we have, parang don't put all your eggs in one basket no? Because there are options. Australia can supply, US, North America, South America, Africa, Europe. There are other options. Price points are different, but we have to balance the risk and the price. So ang risk niyan is that baka mag-close yung almost and on the other side is the price kasi the farther it is, the source, the more expensive is the insurance and the transportation.
So it's a geographical issue. That's why we get it from the Middle East. I think
it's not geographical. It's the what's happening in the industry now. Tumaas talaga yung insurance kasi, di ba? If you go to Strait of Hormuz, baka bombahin ka ng either side. So the insurance companies are putting a high premium, or in fact not giving insurance na.
Okay, let's turn our attention to energy and electricity, and we might be seeing, second round effects of inflation on the electricity costs. You have Edilion saying 16% rise in electricity costs if the war continues. Can you comment on that, and if there is any way for at least it's regulated to some extent, no, compared to oil?
Yes, I was the one who said that during the hearing yesterday.
Because we attributed to Edilion. Go ahead.
It's okay. Baka siya yung sisihin It's 16% if we go business as usual. So for us, kasi that means DOE has to do double the work to minimize this effect and to avoid that much of an increase. Kaya interventions have to be done by especially DOE and of the other agencies also para ma-avoid natin to. And we're trying to look for other sources of electricity, other sources of fuel. How do we play the market now? So many things. Are there renewable energy companies that can magbato na ng electricity in sa grid natin? So many options we're trying to explore now. We're having a core group with ERC, IMAP, DOE, and all the other agencies para how can we temporarily keep the prices at a reasonable rate. Those are things that we are attempting, and hopefully we can do that. It's a challenge for us, but with that, knowing that means that we have to, at least we can plan.
All right. Well, all hands on deck today, especially the government, especially tomorrow, and good luck with that. And we are looking forward to positive developments on that front.
But also, I wanted to I'm optimistic about the supply, and we're making sure that whenever you go to your gas station, meron gas. No, may mga areas lang talaga na nauubusan dahil ang daming pumila. But that's what the government is trying to do. And hopefully the public can respond na we can also be responsible with our consumption, the fuel savings. And let's try naman to minimize or bawasan yung gastos natin para we all help each other. No? We all help our country. Thank you.
Let's get through this together, and thank you very much for spending your morning with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Energy Secretary Sharon Garin.